The story disgusted many, and others shook their heads, wondering how greed could turn family against family. But the loudest whispers came from his own home. Jomoloju's parents, Solomon's brother and sister-in-law, were torn between anger and heartbreak. How could he do this? Jomoloju's mother, Ife, cried. He lived with us, ate at our table, held Jomoloju in his arms like a real uncle. Her husband, Kunle, clenched his jaw, staring out the window. I should have seen the signs, he muttered. He was always desperate, always looking for a shortcut. Meanwhile, Jomoloju, once a bright and playful child, had become quiet. He no longer played with his toy cars. He barely ate. At night, he woke up screaming, haunted by nightmares. In his dreams, he was back in that dark alley, his uncle whispering, "Don't worry," before handing him over to the shadows. One evening, Kunle and Ife sat together, watching their son as he stared blankly at the television. He hadn't spoken much since that night. "We need to help him," Ife whispered. "He's just a child." Kunle sighed and nodded. "I'll talk to a therapist tomorrow." But deep inside, he knew that healing would take time. At the police station, Solomon's trial was being prepared. The evidence against him was overwhelming. His confession, the video circulating online, the testimony of the herbalist who had betrayed him. There was no way out. Yet as he sat in his cell, staring at the cracked walls, he thought about something that terrified him even more than prison. The fact that, even now, a small part of him still wanted the money. And that meant he hadn't learned his lesson yet. Days turned into weeks, and Solomon remained in his cold, lonely cell, waiting for the inevitable. The trial was set to begin in a few days, and he knew there was no escaping the consequences of his actions. But what haunted him the most wasn't the fear of prison. It was the thought of facing his family again.